Welcome to the RutPOP podcast. I am one of the Rutledge hosts, Zach, along with the other Rutledge host, Brandon.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
All Rutledges around the house here.
Yeah, even the dogs are Rutledge, right?
Even the dogs are Rutledge.
And the cat? Would you claim the cat?
You know what? I don't claim that cat.
Okay, I don't blame you.
He's a turd.
He's a goober.
He is not a goober. Goober's too nice. Goober's too nice for that cat. I don't claim that cat. I don't like that cat.
He's funny.
Me and that cat have some serious problems.
He cracks me up.
I understand he will pee standing up. That's hilarious.
Yes, he does.
Apparently, my wife knew that.
She knew.
I didn't know that she knew that he peed standing up.
Did you try to like demonstrate?
I demonstrated it. And she's like, wait, hold on. Do that again. And then she starts pulling out her phone. And I'm like, no.
That's awesome.
One demonstration of my cat peeing standing up is enough.
Yeah, he pees standing up, and then he puts his paws up over the back end of the litter box. It's hilarious.
He's a moron. Speaking of my wife though, so
funny cat.
As you know, we did a vacation on the back end of work trip to Disney, and I had sent you a text and I was like, hey, what kind of, what size shirt do you wear or whatever? Because I really wanted to walk away with a shirt for you.
Yeah.
And I didn't get your response, quick enough. And then some of the shirt sizes were being wonky or whatever. But apparently my wife, and it was so last minute when I asked you that, it was frankly my fault that I didn't get a text from you in time. But apparently my wife knew that it was going to be the case. And so she got you a shirt.
That you wouldn't get it in time?
And so she got you a shirt.
Nice.
Hopefully it does fit, because if it doesn't, I don't know if there's honestly a way we can ever return it, because it's Disney.
No, that's awesome. I love Baby Yoda, so I got to show this thing off.
Yes.
Am I on?
Yes.
Can you see it?
There you go. Baby Yoda.
I can't see it, but can the audience see it?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. So there you go.
I
meant to give it to you on our last deal, but I forgot.
Did you?
It was literally sitting down here, and I was like,
"That is awesome. Thank you so much. This is great.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Rachel."
And and so I was like, you left, and we got all done with it, and I was like, oh crap! Like it was sitting right here, and you know what happened is when we were messing around with the computer, I put my computer on top of it, and I completely spaced that it was there.
Yeah, he put his computer underneath his workbench last time because the fan gets too loud or something.
Let me tell you about Apple. Me and Apple have a love-hate relationship. Okay, I love Apple products. I am surrounded.
I'm covering up Mr. Herman.
Oh, I can't believe, man, Baby Yoda's getting all the love.
Yeah,
Baby Yoda gets all the love now.
Covering Mr. Herman
nowadays. I was talking about
Large Marge.
I was talking about that. Well, we're going to get back to my story here in a second, but I was talking about that while I was putting together the Porg Lego set, and how when
that thing's beefy.
Huh?
It's beefy.
It's beefy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. But I just thought it was interesting when JJ comes out and makes the adorable robot of BB-8. And then Ryan Johnson's like, I'll see your droid and I'll raise you some feathers, and made the adorable Porgs. And then Jon Favreau comes out and says, I'll see your feathers and I'll raise you a baby. and made Baby Yoda.
I can't imagine anything topping Baby Yoda.
Okay.
For a long time.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. And again,
he set the bar high.
Right. And frankly, I don't care about the little murder bears of the Ewok in the George Lucas era. Sorry, George.
Not even Wicket?
Murder bears. Wicket was going to eat everybody too, man. Like Wicket was salivating, staring at Han Solo's butt. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, me and Apple have a love-hate relationship. Hilarious. I have all my stuff is Apple, but I really think they screwed the pooch on this 16-inch MacBook Pro. I just think there's a huge flaw, a huge design flaw in it, and anyway, I smell class action lawsuit is what I smell. But speaking of Baby Yoda,
yeah.
Let's get back to Baby Yoda. I don't want to dwell on Apple, because Apple right now, me and Apple don't like each other.
Yeah, their live event wasn't very live the other day.
Well, they did that with the last. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, they did with the last one. What I thought was hilarious was, they're big. The big guy outside of Tim Cook is Craig, right? And what I thought was funny about that live event was they did like the little warp speed thing as it was like flying through the campus to get to the next person, right? And they kept flying past Craig, and Craig's like, nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. Because they're not ready to release their iPhone 12 yet. And like, that's what he's going to do. And so I thought that was very clever. Like they kept purposefully like flying past Craig, and he was like, nope, nope, nope. So it was adorable. Like Apple's presentations are top notch. Like their commercials are great. Like their production design is top notch. Everything they do that. They are marketing freaking geniuses. They do stuff very well. Their products, on the other hand, sometimes can be a little wonky. And currently right now their 16-inch MacBook Pro is a little freaking wonky, and there's no way to fix it.
It requires 125.
It requires 125 watts. I'm telling you, like it is a design flaw. So they put the biggest battery that they could put in there that would legally be allowed to fly on an airplane, which is a 100-watt battery. Okay, but the problem is, in order to cool the i9 processor, and I don't think this is a problem with the i7, but their beefy i9 processor that you need, or that they put in there that you can use, needs to be cooled. And the fan speed in which it needs to ramp up at over 5,500 RPMs ends up taking over 125 watts of power. And so even when it's plugged in, maybe if it's only plugged in and not running a single app, but at that point it doesn't need to cool the processor, right? Yeah. But obviously you're using apps and applications if it's cooling the processor at that speed, right?
So their charger needs to be at least 25 more watts.
Right. Well, but the problem is a USB-C. Let's see if I can pull it up here. A USB-C cable
can't
push through that much power.
It can only do 100 watts.
Yes, it's impossible. Like it's not rated.
So even when you have the thing plugged into the wall,
right? That's my point.
You're still losing.
You're losing at least 25 watts of power, and so the battery slowly ticks down,
ticking away. That's insane.
If you want to cool the processor appropriately, here's the deal: you can have
lawsuit.
I smell class action lawsuit here. You can get applications that you can ramp your own fan speeds, and realistically, you don't. The processor could be cooled well enough to work at its as its normal clocked speed, okay? But the problem is the OS and the motherboard and everything reads the processor temperature and says, "Oh my God, we're too hot." And so if you don't have the speeds above 500 or 5,500 RPMs to cool it what it thinks it needs cooled, it then throttles your processor to less than half of what the clock speed should be in order to work appropriately.
And we've had that problem on the podcast, right?
In the podcast, and that's part of the problem that we've been having on the podcast.
Podcast has suffered
because
of this issue,
right? And mainly it's the live streaming side of it, and part of it is Streamlabs too. Because if Streamlabs used, I don't know what their software is doing, and I know people have told me that there are some other options out there that I need to look at, and I'm going to start looking. I'm going to be gone next week. I'm going to start looking at other options and seeing how I can rebuild all of our overlays and everything into a different system. But part of the problem is Streamlabs, which just became available for Mac. They've never been available for Mac. They've always been PC. And so when people wanted to use it on a Mac, they'd end up having to use Boot Camp or something like that and install Windows on their Mac to use Streamlabs. In February, Streamlabs came out with a Mac version finally after all these years. And ever since this latest update, I feel like Streamlabs the application has been having problems, and it's been wanting to draw a lot more CPU power than probably what it needs to. Maybe if they patch that, maybe this problem goes away and I'm able to run the fans at a lower rate, not drain the power, and it's not putting so much pressure on the CPU. The CPU thinks, oh my God, I'm overheating. I need to throttle myself down. Anyway, it's I know it's a lot of technical stuff, but that's what's happening.
Words,
nerd stuff. But that is what's happening with the MacBook, and again, there's no way to fix it in its current form unless there are software patches that Apple can do. But literally they ran into this problem with two generation MacBooks ago with the exact same processor. They were having thermal throttling issues. They were throttling the CPU, and they got caught doing it. and nobody was getting the clock speeds that they should be getting. And anyway, the thing is when I edit with it, like with Premiere and stuff, it's a beast. I have no problems even running the fans at half speed. So I really think it has more to do with Streamlabs in this case, potentially.
Okay.
But I do know when those fans have to crank up to its normal speed, it cannot pass through the power that it needs. It's drawing more power than what you're able to give it, and that's a design issue.
Yeah. Yeah, not cool.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Baby Yoda. Now get off my Apple soapbox here. Back to Baby Yoda. We've had, again, even in the short amount of time since we've streamed again and since we're recording another podcast, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy that things are continuing to happen in the entertainment world and in the pop culture world, even during a pandemic, and people are still kind of on lockdown and quarantine in different places. Mandalorian season 2 trailer drops. And all of a sudden, I remember a time before being shut in homes and before masks, when season 1 came out in November and everything was right in the world. And
give you a little hope.
It gave me a little hope. It's
That's
almost
good.
like the world needs Baby Yoda to come back to remind everybody that it's okay.
To make everything
And
right
have a
again.
little green hand grab us and lead us into the light. Please, God, Baby Yoda, do that for us.
Yes.
Thoughts on the season 2 trailer of Mandalorian?
Looks great. Loving it. Yeah, I can't wait.
Insightful.
Yeah. I was at work. I was trying not to watch it.
Okay.
I haven't fully.
Gotcha.
I haven't listened to it. I've kind of watched it. So yeah, I'm behind.
Okay.
So I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah. And same thing with Dune. I haven't fully
been able to absorb it.
Yeah, and I need to, because I really love trailers. Like I love studying trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I like looking up old ones. That from like the 40s and 50s, just to see what they were like back then.
Right.
So it's something that I enjoy. I enjoy actually studying.
Right.
And following movie trailers.
Right.
And it's unfortunate that I haven't had a chance to fully
absorb all that.
Absorb those ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
I need to.
What's wild to me is
the last one I've seen is the Batman. That's the last trailer that I've like.
What was your thought? What were your thoughts on that?
Oh, that was awesome.
Did
the Nirvana song?
Did it tickle you in the right way?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Too bad he has COVID-19.
I know, and they shut all the production down.
Yeah.
I was honestly pleasantly surprised by the Batman trailer.
Yeah. It finally looks like a detective story.
Right.
Like Batman is the world's greatest detective.
Right.
And it finally
They've gotten away. They have gotten away from
looks
that.
like they are going to do like a true Batman detective story. Like
Right.
Following the Riddler, looking for clues.
Yeah.
Well,
and
his
Penguin,
detective
obviously,
skills.
Penguin's making a with Colin Farrell. Like
Yeah.
oh my God,
unrecognizable.
you unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unrecognizable.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It was wild, man.
Yeah.
But it was, here's the thing is Robert Pattinson, just from a look standpoint, pulled off Batman, no problem.
Yeah.
When I see him as Bruce Wayne,
Not doing it.
it's not doing it for me yet.
Okay.
I'm reserving judgment. Okay. But
Yeah.
not yet.
Okay.
Robert
Okay.
Pattinson's not pulling. And don't get me, I'm not in the, the Twilight guy. I'm not in that camp. I understand he's done more than Twilight. Okay. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's had like a really cool indie career.
Yeah, he has.
In the past decade.
He has. So I'm not in that. The only one I haven't seen yet is Tenet. Obviously, I haven't seen Tenet yet, but which I'm really thinking about going to the theater to see it. The one with Willem Dafoe, what The Lighthouse.
Oh my God, that movie's hilarious.
I know, it's literally on my it's sitting on my iPad.
We should watch it tonight. It's that good.
Yeah, it's sitting. It's literally sitting on my iPad.
That movie, I laugh like the entire way through.
Are you supposed to laugh?
I mean, it's kind of a dark comedy.
Okay.
Like Willem Dafoe was just like a complete jerk to him the entire time.
Gotcha.
It cracks me up, like the level of absurd jerk.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he treats him like he's a general, and Robert Pattinson's like a private.
That's
so
so
that's
funny.
like in Willem Dafoe's mind. That's like what he is to him. He just treats him like that the entire movie,
Okay.
like he's a dumb kid.
I need to see it. So I'm not in that camp where I'm like, oh, the Twilight guy can't be Batman. I get it. Like I'm not. That's the only one. And I really feel like this weekend I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go see Tenet. I don't think Rachel will go with me or anything like that. I want to go.
Experience.
I want to go. I want to go to the theaters. I want to go to the movie theater.
Is it in IMAX?
I don't know.
Is it at the?
I honestly,
the IMAX theater
because
downtown?
of the time, I haven't looked. Like I haven't even looked at Fandango or anything like that. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
I'd like to see that one on the big screen.
Hey Justin. Hey Spring fan. Thank you so much for joining in. Enjoy the show. We're just going to be chatting, and feel free to join in on the chat whenever you like. Opinions are welcome. And Justin, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, party on, dudes.
Party on, dudes. Okay, so the back to the trailers again.
Yeah.
What I loved about what cracked me up, I've been purposefully kind of staying away from any of the Dune information.
Okay.
And I just watching the trailer, the first thing that stuck out to me was like how many people are in it. I didn't realize like so
it
many.
has a cool ensemble.
Yeah.
I
was pleasantly surprised by who was in it.
Yeah, I was like, is that Josh Brolin?
Yeah.
Is that Dave Bautista?
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised. I tell you what it made me really want to do. I want to go back and watch the
David Lynch
one, the original one.
Yeah, I have it. I have it at home.
Why are you looking around like it's going to magically appear?
Well, I'm trying to. Well, I was trying to like in my mind castle. I was trying to picture which room it was in.
Gotcha.
So I was looking around.
Gotcha.
My mind castle.
Your mind palace.
My mind palace.
You were looking around in your mind palace.
Yes, I was.
So yeah. So I it does make me want to go back. I feel
and I
like
did locate it, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like I need to.
There.
It's over there. Gotcha. I do feel like I need to go back and watch the original Dune, the Kyle MacLachlan, and see the whole thing.
That one has kind of a fun cast too.
Yeah, I remember it having one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sting's in it.
Yes, I remember Sting being in it. Like that was like the one that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I think Sir Patrick Stewart's in there. And
I think that was right. Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
the great Kyle MacLachlan.
I need to see that, and I know in all of its horror, like I need to see it. You know what I mean? Before I see this one, but I have faith that this one is going to be good. I have heard that. Like there have been people say that there's no way you could adapt that movie. Like it was just not possible or something.
Yeah.
So now I'm very, very, very curious to see. Now, do you know, like there's a movie, little movie history here. Do you know the guy that wrote the original Alien was originally supposed to like help make that Dune movie before David Lynch was ever involved?
Huh. Yeah, I think I read something that it switched directors. Like it had
several times. Yeah,
like he was like the third or fourth down the line.
Yeah,
to be offered
right.
But
the guy that wrote the original Alien script that was then completely changed. Whatever. But him and his buddy, his writing partner, like they came up with the basis of what became Alien. He was in the process of writing Alien and then got tapped to go make Dune with this French director or something, and like flew to Paris, like left everything, flew to Paris, and then the dude said he had the rights, had financing or whatever, went out there and worked on that thing for almost a year, and then it completely fell apart. And so this guy came back holding his tail in his hands, and the only way he was going to survive is if he sold a script, and so he had to quickly finish Alien. And then try to sell. He was trying to sell it just like to like a cheap B horror movie, movie production studio or whatever. And it ended up getting passed around to a few other guys and landed in. I can't think of the film. I can't think of the producer's name right now, but the guy that was like big into like action movies at the time in the early 70s. I can't think of it anyway. And then they kind of rewrote it. They rewrote it, and then it sat on Alan Ladd Jr.'s desk for a while. Until all of a sudden Star Wars hit. And once Star Wars got big, then they were like, 20th Century Fox was like, we need another one. Like, we need another space opera of some kind. And the only thing they had available to them was Alien. And so it still went through a bunch of rewrites and stuff like before they even like landed on Ridley Scott and everything like that. And then he kind of tweaked it a little bit, but his big thing was he did boards. Like his boards, Ridley Scott drawing his own boards, doubled the budget that 20th Century Fox was going to give them because of his boards. The original Alien movie is an incredible story. Like that is, I would love to do a deep dive on that at some point in time.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It is. I'm a huge Alien franchise fan anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I like them. I've seen them all.
Right.
You know. But I didn't, I didn't know all that level. It's
so interesting because again, when you go through the whole Alien franchise and you get into Alien 3 and all the crap going on with David Fincher and everything, like it's incredible.
Yeah, I do like the James Cameron and the David Fincher ones.
Yeah, the awesome. Path that took, and most people hate the David Fincher one.
I love that one.
Yeah, and anyway, it's just very, because even that movie started off as something completely different than what it ended up being with David Fincher. But back to
I know the Alien, like it's based on H.R. Geiger. Like he designed that.
He designed it, right? And so that was the thing. So the guy, okay, we're gonna end up getting a deep dive on Alien here if we're not careful.
Go for it. I mean, that's like the only piece of trivia that's popping into my head.
Okay, so Geiger was working on that Dune movie, that defunct Dune movie, and that's how the writer met Geiger at a hotel lounge. And as Geiger and the director that was doing that Dune movie are talking, he's flipping through Geiger's portfolio or whatever, and is seeing all this weird and just crazy and like sexual stuff and whatever. And that's what ended up being the basis for his aliens and his designs in Alien.
Really?
And so when they finally got to making the movie,
cool.
I just can't think of the writer's name to save my life, but he did Total Recall and he's done a bunch of stuff. Anyway, he went to the production team and was like, "Listen, we gotta do this. Like we gotta bring this guy in." And apparently Geiger would never get on a plane, so they had to like fly back over to him. Like Ridley Scott had to go to him, like that kind of thing. But that's how that connection, without that Dune movie, that defunct Dune movie, Alien could have looked completely different. Like how crazy is that?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Or it could have been done as like a B movie.
It could have been done as a B movie. I still think Ridley, I don't think would have let it get there because he was very adamant about like the way it looked and the production design and everything. That's why he wanted to hire actors that almost like stage performers that could carry a scene, because he was more concerned about the environments and what the art direction was and how the scene looked and everything. He was like, "You actors, you do your thing. I trust you." Like that was his thought.
That's cool.
Anyway, there's a lot. Like I said, I think that would be a great one to get into at some point in time.
Yeah, definitely. I like Ridley Scott.
Yeah, because there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot there.
Like Blade Runner is probably my favorite.
Well, then you can,
Ridley Scott.
You can spin that into Prometheus and what he's doing with that series, whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Alien legacy is nuts to get into. But back to Star Wars. The Mandalorian season 2 trailer gave me everything I needed and left out everything I didn't want to see. Like it gave me so much and yet didn't give anything away. That's cool. I loved it. Like it was a masterful trailer, in my opinion. And
I truly think there is an artistry to doing a good trailer.
Yes, I agree. This
is the way.
This is the way. This is the way, Justin. This is the way. Yes, I did put "This is the way" on my soundboard.
That's awesome.
So because like they gave you some mystery involved. They didn't give what's her name, Rosario Dawson, away as Ahsoka yet. Like they're leaving that one. They give you a hint of like this other person, and you're like, who is this lady?
Yeah, that's who I thought it was. Ahsoka at first.
I'm thinking that's Sabine Wren. But you haven't watched Rebels, and that's the thing. Like, oh my god, dude, you've got to watch Star Wars Rebels
before season 2.
I feel like, I don't know how you're gonna make it because there's 5 seasons or something of Star Wars Rebels, and you've got 1 month to do it. It's impossible. But Dave Filoni and what he did with Rebels and Clone Wars, those 2 cartoons, and now what he's going to do, because I don't know if you realize or if you heard or not, but they they introduced the Bad Batch in the newest Clone Wars series, and now
They're doing a Bad Batch series.
They're doing a Bad Batch series on Disney Plus, and I'm just like, thank you. That's all I wanted, a Bad Batch. I just knew they were going to. You can't introduce these very interesting characters for like a 3-episode arc in the very last season of Clone Wars and be like, okay, peace. Like, I knew they were doing it for a reason, and they did. They gave it away. The best reason it worked is from the dialogue of the last season. The trailer, you mean? Yeah. That was the thing. Like they didn't use only dialogue from the last season, because there is a specific point in the thing where it leads into a great scene. And it's like, if you haven't absorbed it enough yet, like I don't want to give it away, because like literally the entire family watched it and we were dying. Like we were like, yes, really? Like it was like that. It was like the moment in the very first season trailer when he pulled that guy into that closing porthole and you saw, like, you knew that he just sliced that guy in half. That kind of moment. But this one was adorable. Like the new season's adorable, as opposed to that being like a, oh yeah, kind of moment. Right. I'm telling you, it just gave you, like, it showed you characters that you knew, but it didn't give you Moff Gideon. Like, it didn't give you like any look at him, any look at the Darksaber. And again, you need Clone Wars and Rebels to know Darksaber really well. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
it just looks so cool. I don't know. That's all I need to know is how cool it looks.
They're selling the Darksaber now at Disney World.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
If I could have figured out a way to pack it in my suitcase, it was totally coming home with me. I didn't think I could take
it's like the full length.
No, it's a toy, but it's still long enough to like have a problem in a suitcase, and I didn't feel like I could take it through TSA because I'd get freaking tackled or something. Justin says Rebels is an easy watch. It is an easy watch. Like you'll get hooked and you'll want to go through it.
Yeah.
They're only half hour, 22-minute episodes or whatever.
Uh-huh.
You could binge it pretty quickly, but like it's going to be a marathon to get through because there's a lot of seasons. And the problem is you're going to want to go, you're going to want to see Clone Wars too, because there are links between them. And I'm telling you right now, that last season of Clone Wars that they put on Disney Plus was epic.
Yeah. Aren't they doing another season?
No, Clone Wars is done.
Clone Wars is done.
That's where they're doing the Bad Batch instead.
Oh, cool.
And I think
that one's going to be live action.
No,
it's going to be animated.
Okay. Yeah, and I think
that's cool.
And I think it's going to be after. I'm assuming it's after the fall of the Jedi, not
before,
not prequel. I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, Justin's a massive Star Wars fan. Rebels is easier to watch than Clone Wars. Clone Wars has some episodes where you're just like checking your watch, like let's keep it moving. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like as an example, I mean here, as an example, Hondo, right? Onaka. Okay, I don't know if you know this guy or not. Hondo Onaka. Hondo Onaka is one of the main characters that you will discover or be a part of in Galaxy's Edge in Disney. And so if like you don't know, like you don't have to know Rebels or Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But it means so much more if you like all of a sudden you walk in the room and there's Hondo talking to you.
Really?
Like it's super cool. It was a super cool moment. And anyway, back to what I was trying to say. I keep diverting, but
it's cool. I'm enjoying listening to you.
This Mandalorian season 2 is, I just feel like, first of all, bravo to them for being able to have the technology in place to finish that thing during this pandemic. The fact that it's coming out on time is astounding.
So when is it coming out?
October 30th.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
October 30th, Disney Plus, and I'm assuming they'll do what they did last time. They'll release probably the first 2 episodes, and then it'll be a weekly thing. And that's what they did with like The Boys on Amazon. It's actually kind of fun to see streaming services going back to that and releasing them weekly, as opposed to dumping, anywhere between
full
8
season.
to 12 episodes on you, and then having you binge watch for a weekend, and then you're
Right.
done. Right now, which I know you're not watching The Boys, which is breaking my heart because I would love to have that conversation with somebody about that. And that's what we've been missing. Like I used to love watching Lost, and then every single week it was reading all the theories and talking to the people in the office about what was going to happen and what do you think that was about, and what do you like. We haven't had those opportunities really with TV shows in a while because it's been so streaming focused.
Yeah.
And everything's been binge watching focused, right?
Yeah. I've been telling people about Cobra Kai lately. So I've got, several coworkers that are now investing time into, the Cobra Kai series. So, it's been kind of fun talking to them about that.
Yeah.
And, one of my coworkers today was like, oh my gosh, they got John Kreese to come back. That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool.
Dude, when he showed up at the end of season 1, you were like, oh yeah, babe. Like, and so now we're all waiting on what's her name to show up.
But yeah, I've been wanting to talk to people about that show, but haven't really been able to get anybody.
Nobody was on
interested in it 'cause-
board until it hit Netflix.
Yeah, like people are like YouTube. What there's
Right.
There's scripted shows on YouTube. What are you talking about,
Dude, I got that was why I got my YouTube Premium, was because of Cobra Kai. I was like, absolutely. And then I started talking to people about it. I'm like, why are you not watching Cobra Kai on YouTube? Well, I don't know about YouTube, whatever. And I'm like,
Well, I was one of those people. I was like, no, I'm not paying for another service for one show.
and Justin's right here. I mean, Game of Thrones proved that weekly still works. It creates a conversation. Walking Dead is that way. Like even with their dwindling numbers, they're still one of the highest watched shows on television right now.
Didn't that one get canceled?
Not yet. Their
Not yet.
last season is next season.
Okay.
So they do season 10 starting sometime this year,
Man, I'm bummed out.
and then season 11 will be their last
They
season.
canceled Venture Brothers last week. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, Jackson Public and Doc Cameron, they were in the middle of writing season 8, and it got canceled last week. I'm bummed about that.
Yeah, that sucks.
But
a bummer.
there's still hope that there might be like a comic book version of season 8 or something.
I mean, that show has been on for so long.
2003,
Yeah.
17 years. They did 7 seasons in 17 years.
But think about, I mean, there's some of these cartoons crack me up that they are able to continue to keep churning stuff. Simpsons right now is the prime example. The fact that thing keeps churning out new shows.
Yeah.
South Park keeps
Yeah.
churning out new shows. That's incredible to me.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
it
talked about it before about how maybe sometimes shows can end after 3 seasons and be fine with it, but these things just keep on trucking, baby.
is. Yeah.
And I mean, and I kind of feel like way with some of these Disney Plus series like Mandalorian. It's like, you give me as much as you want to give me, as long as you keep the quality level
Right.
where it is.
Right.
It's like, how long can you keep this? Keep
it
this
interesting.
Keep it interesting,
Yeah.
right? And
Dude,
it's been
I watched the Baby Yoda show till the end of time.
right. And they've said, that or at least the rumor is that Kenobi's a 1-season deal.
I did.
and done.
Yeah, I saw Ewan McGregor said that.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
If you can tell that, it's basically they're saying we had too much story to tell than a movie,
Yeah.
so we're gonna make it like a little mini series.
That's awesome.
Fine, love it.
Yeah.
Give me all of it.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, as long as there's like a
And
clear
again,
arc, there's a great beginning, middle, and end.
That
and
show,
a good climax that brings the story,
one
full
week at
circle.
a time, please. Let me enjoy it. Give me 1 week at a time. The wife's not there yet. The wife still wants to binge watch. She's still in binge mode. She wants to see things so she can binge it. She wants the Stranger Things weekend.
I did that with the first season of Mandalorian. I didn't.
You waited.
I didn't get Disney Plus
Wow.
until Mandalorian was out, and then I binge watched it right before Rise of Skywalker came out.
Really?
Yeah, like I was trying to finish the last episode of Mandalorian before I went to meet you at the theater to see Rise
No
of Skywalker.
kidding.
Yeah,
No kidding.
yeah, like I binge watched it like.
And there was even
right
a connection there because Baby Yoda could heal
Yeah,
just like
that's why I wanted to finish it before seeing Rise.
yeah.
Because I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna have something that ties into
Right.
Rise of Skywalker.
A little bit.
And
I mean,
I'm glad I did because
Yeah.
with that healing factor,
Yeah.
it was cool.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Speaking of binge watching on Netflix, and I think because obviously, like Karate Kid, this didn't start on Netflix, but and maybe you watched it before that. The Last Dance.
The Last Dance.
Have you gone down the path of The Last Dance yet?
Is that the Michael Jordan one?
Yes, it is.
No, I have not seen that. When it was on, I think it was ESPN.
Yeah.
When it was airing, I was kind of following the story, kind of
Mhm.
reading a little bit about it. Like I think the Carmen Electra stuff was big news.
That was pretty interesting.
when it was it was on ESPN. But
Right.
But no, I have not watched it.
My God, please watch it.
Good stuff.
Because you were such a Bulls fan in the 90s.
Yeah.
You always broke my heart because you were such a Bulls fan, and I still tried to be the hometown boy and watch the Pacers, but I was a Phoenix Suns fan. Remember how much of a Phoenix Suns fan I was?
Yeah.
And so, and the Bulls killed both my teams like every single year. You
Yeah.
know, the Bulls were kicking. But anyway, as being, and you had Air Jordans and everything like that, like, again, spoiled brat, with all of your game systems and everything.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny it.
You're not going to die. You had a good childhood. Let's go down that.
I did.
But
Not gonna lie.
The stuff that I found out in this Last Dance documentary series, whatever you want to call it, docuseries, blew my mind. I had no idea. And maybe you did, and maybe you knew some of these things. I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know stuff going on, like what happened with Jordan's father. I didn't know, stuff that happened with Steve Kerr's father. Like, I had no idea some of these things. And it's fascinating. It was fascinating to watch. And I hated, like, having to stop.
Did he give you that nostalgic feeling?
Oh, 100%.
Like you kind of remember that.
Oh my
that
God.
stuff.
And that was hard for me because The Last Dance literally is around that, like, last season that the Pacers should have won that game against them
Yeah.
and gone on to the finals. And they just didn't. And it's hard to watch that because I was in Pacer mode then.
Yeah.
We had one of the greatest teams ever. And even Reggie Reggie Miller's in that thing saying we were the better team that day. Like,
Yeah.
and he's not wrong. Like, they
Right.
were. It just the way the ball bounced just didn't bounce in their direction.
Yeah.
And it
I loved
sucked.
going to Pacers games back then.
Oh, it was so much fun.
We were the sixth man. We were
Oh, yeah.
best sixth man. in
Well,
the
and
league
even Jordan
back
talks
then.
about it, like how hard it was to come to
Indianapolis.
come to Market Square Arena and play. Like, he
it was
says,
so loud.
It was so loud, and they've got great video of like this woman just screaming. Like it's black. Like, they did not bash Indiana fans in basketball at all, baby. Like, it was. It was fun to watch, but then you knew the inevitability of what was going to happen, and you were like, oh God, don't do this to me again. But knowing what was going on behind the scenes, because I was not aware of any of that behind the scenes. We didn't live in Chicago. I didn't follow the news. I'm sure it was more local based than anything, but it was national news for what was going on. But all the behind the scenes and in the front office and everything, good for them for winning it. You know what I mean? Like, I would have hated to see the Pacers play the spoilers in that scenario because of what was going on. And
Right.
And there's a great shot of Jordan winning the first championship after his father died, and just laying on the floor, just convulsing. He's crying so hard.
Yeah.
I'm watching this on an airplane, and I'm just like bawling. I was like,
That's cool.
Bless, darn it, Jordan, for making me cry. Like,
You feel sorry for a billionaire.
I feel sorry for a billionaire. And that's the best part, was like, they didn't try to mask like Jordan's pompous assness of like he's just like, yeah, it's kind of the way I am. Like, and by the end of it,
That's
you're
awesome.
like, okay,
That's awesome.
Cool. That's fine. That's the way you are. Great. Like Scottie Pippen being a crybaby his entire career, they pretty much played in that. Scotty's like, yeah, I kind of was. Like, you know what I mean? It's great. And,
That's awesome.
like all the stuff, like they really get into the whole Zen master thing of Phil Jackson back in the day. And they've got him like taking the entire team through yoga and stuff. Like, it's hilarious.
That's awesome.
That was a wild ride, baby.
And that's on Netflix now, right?
It's on Netflix. And so if you got Netflix, that is a binge-worthy docuseries.
Should I watch Rebels and Clone Wars before that, or should I watch The Last Dance before Star Wars?
I just don't think you're going to be able to finish Clone Wars and Rebels before Mandalorian season
Right
2
on.
anyway.
Right on.
I mean, if you want to, if you
I
want,
still haven't finished Cobra Kai season 2. I'm like halfway through season 2 of Cobra Kai.
get the hell out of here.
Right?
Get the hell
Yeah,
out of here. I'm so disappointed in you.
It's in my stack of shame.
It's in you. You have a stack of shame just like I do.
Yeah, I do have a stack.
Your stack of shame is movies or Netflix shows. My stack of shame is video
and
games.
trailers, movie trailers.
Movie trailers.
I'm beating myself up that I haven't seen Mando season 2 trailer, and
It's awful.
I know. I'm beating myself up here.
It's awful.
Yeah,
I'm so disappointed in you.
I'm disappointed in myself.
So yeah, I would do Last Dance. I think that's worth it. And then you get through Last Dance. I really feel like they're long. They're like over an hour each. I think.
How many episodes are there?
I think it's like 8.
8. Okay.
I just love the way they did it.
Have you ever seen any of the 30 for 30s?
Yes.
Yeah, some of those are brilliant.
I've shot some of those, bro.
You're kidding.
No.
You're kidding me. Get out of here.
I think there was a Pagano one or something like that I did.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Back when Pagano was Siri, shut up. Siri, shut up. Stupid Siri. You're drunk. Go home. You're drunk. What? No.
I'm confused.
Stupid. Like all of a sudden, that's the second time she's done that to me today.
Really?
All of a sudden, she'll just start talking to me.
Interesting. Yeah, thanks, Siri. You completely interrupted our show.
What? I mean, come on. Stupid machine. Apple. Once again.
Careful.
Apple.
Careful. Our artificial intelligence overlords will remember this moment and come to get you once they take over.
They're gonna come back and it's gonna be awful. Let's see. Now she made me forget of what
30 for 30.
30 for 30. Yeah. So anyway, I'm pretty sure there was a Pagano one I shot right when he was coming back from cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was it all about the Colts or just about him?
About Pagano. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those are brilliant. Like the one with the Raiders that Ice Cube directed. That one's awesome.
Mm.
And I think Vince Vaughn did the Super Bowl Shuffle Bears.
Yeah.
That episode's awesome.
I've told you about my Super Bowl Shuffle incident, right?
I don't think so.
So we did a back when I was working for the city CVB, we were doing a marketing thing leading up to the Super Bowl that was going to be in Indianapolis. And they were hosting what was called Holiday Showcase, which was a big convention planners meeting, right? Where they invited a bunch of meeting planners to come to one place, and all these other cities come and they say, this is why this city's great. This is why this city's great, whatever, da-da-da-da-da-da. And so the marketing people working for the CVB of Indianapolis said, Chicago, we're advertising the Super Bowl, Chicago, Super Bowl Shuffle. Let's make our own Super Bowl Shuffle.
Awesome.
Okay. So then I was charged with coming up with doing a new Super Bowl Shuffle parody using nothing but hoteliers in Indianapolis. And so all the major hotels and everything like that.
I think I've seen that.
I'm sure I've showed it to you.
Yeah.
And so we had to shoot.
It's all coming back to me now.
I had to shoot it all in a day. I had no help, right? There was no budget. Like literally it was all in, because it was all in-house at the time, right? I'm so glad I don't. I mean, I loved my time there.
Didn't you have like a couple celebrities show up for that? Did Mike Epps show up?
Mike Epps showed up. Like, it was hilarious.
I do remember.
Well,
this.
Here's the thing. Mike Epps was in the hotel lobby of one of the hotels we were in. I was like, hey, Mike, come here. Mike, you want to be in this? And he was like, absolutely. Like, he was all about it. So he was like dancing. That's and, awesome. Doing some stuff. Anyway, Mike Epps is fun.
That's awesome.
So anyway, I had to write all the, come up with new parody lyrics to the Super Bowl Shuffle song and then record it in my office at the time or whatever. Again, I'm so glad I don't work there anymore. And it's not because of anybody. Like, I love every single person that's there. I loved what I was able to do there and everything like that. I just didn't like the politics involved with there. Gotcha. So I'm so glad that I'm able to freelance and do what I want to do now.
Gotcha.
But this is a prime example. And so we make this video, and the CEO wanted to show one of his friends, like out in San Francisco or something. So he sent it to them. And then all of a sudden, the link, as I put it up on Dropbox or something like that, the link to the Dropbox video, or no, I put it on YouTube as an unlisted thing. So you had to have a link to see it. and he sent the link, and then all of a sudden that person started sharing it from San Francisco to other meeting planners, and all of a sudden it ended up on a meeting planner's Twitter page, and they sent it out to like their 700,000 followers.
Wow.
Or something like that. And then they just started sharing it everywhere. And so it was unfinished. It wasn't even finished.
That's hilarious.
Okay. This unfinished thing started going just viral. Okay. And then like locally, like the Pacers picked it up, the Colts picked it up, and all this other stuff. And oh my God, she's listening again.
Who's that?
Siri, shut up. Stop listening. Stop listening. I'm not sure I understand. Apple. I'm telling you. So anyways,
Yeah.
so they were sharing it all over the place, and everything was fine. Like, and honestly, like at that point it was like it was positive, baby. Like it was, people were loving it and all this other stuff. And then my predecessor got a hold of it and started bashing it.
Oh yeah.
On YouTube. Started bashing the links and everything on YouTube.
That's hilarious.
And
like, what does he have against you?
I don't know. I never understood. I think he wanted me to quit when he quit, and I didn't. And I took over his role. Like I took over his position, I'm guessing. Gotcha. But anyway, I mean, that's what ended up happening. He was like literally creating multiple usernames to bash
That's hilarious.
this video.
That's psychotic.
Yeah. And the problem is once somebody starts trolling, people start to fall in line, right?
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, all these trolls came out of the
haters.
word. Yeah. And then the conversation completely shifted. And so all these people that loved it, then all of a sudden the trolls started, hating on it more.
That's hilarious.
And it got rough. And it got nasty. People started getting nasty with like some of the staff and some of the hotel people that were women, like started saying nasty things about him. And
wow.
so they had to they had to shut it down. And somebody pulled it off the internet before they shut it down and re-uploaded it to YouTube.
Nice.
And as a bash, not as even as a nice thing, but like as a whatever. And anyway, it was what had happened? There was a local radio show, Smiley in the Morning or something like that. Like somebody had started a Facebook page, shut down the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Are you serious?
Or whatever, right? And they got so many likes and followers, whatever. So Smiley, this radio DJ, made his own. He loved it, and so he put out his own Facebook page, "Bring Back the Super Bowl Shuffle," and it got like 3 times as many likes as the shut down one, or whatever. And then of course somebody re-uploaded, and they were like, "We brought it back," but we didn't bring it back. That was just the way it happened.
That's hilarious.
It was a crazy. Crazy time.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that. That's interesting.
Sorry, 1 second.
How do
you turn off the Siri voice feedback?
You can do it in settings, can't you?
I don't know. But like I'm not even saying her name.
Right. Picking it up somehow. Something that you were talking about in the ICBA or something. What does that acronym stand for?
ICVA was at the time it was Visit Indy. When I started there, they were the ICVA, which is Indianapolis Convention and Visitors Association.
What's it now?
Visit Indy.
Visit Indy.
Visit Indy. Yeah.
Okay. There was another acronym you were using, like CVB or something like that?
CVB, Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Okay.
So there are CVBs in every state. Okay. And and sometimes like a lot of cities, major cities have them.
Okay. I was not familiar with that acronym.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. I just wanted to clarify for my own curiosity.
Okay. I turned off listen. So we'll see.
That's hilarious.
This is on you.
On Siri?
Yeah, I turned it off on her. We'll see.
It's all Siri's fault.
It's all, yeah. Oh God, I'm dropping things. Things are going haywire now, all because of stupid Apple.
Yeah, they're listening, man.
They're listening. They're always listening.
They're listening in on our conversations.
Anyway, I would.
I can sense it.
Yeah. So we don't talk about the Super Bowl Shuffle much.
That's hilarious, dude. I did not know that.
And there's a lot of other stuff. Eventually, like somebody, one of the wives or something from one of the players, I think one of the players that passed away that was in it, she like actually owns the rights to that song. We didn't know it, even though we did a parody of it. We ended up getting the ICV or Visit Indy ended up getting like sued over it or something like that. Yeah, like it once it hit national media, like Deadspin picked up the freaking story and was like tweeting it out to their people, and it was a mess, man. Like front page of the
and you weren't even done editing the thing.
No, it wasn't finished.
It was an unfinished product.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish it? Or was it just ruined?
No, I finished it. No, I finished it. I finished it, but at that point, the damage had been done.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't even know if they showed it at Holiday Showcase, to be honest with you. I'm not even 100% sure.
They had such a sour taste in their mouth from
because what happened was this guy like put it out there as this was Indianapolis's Super Bowl promo video or something. Like this was what we were doing to market the Super Bowl. And that wasn't the case, like on a national level or something like that.
Gotcha.
That wasn't the case. It wasn't a Super Bowl commercial for the thing or whatever. It was a fun video. I went to like 6 or 7 hotels in one day by myself, choreographed all of the singing and everything, and whatnot, and shot it all in one day by myself. Like I didn't have lights. I didn't have, you know what I mean? Like it was by myself. Anyway,
that's awesome.
It was a nutso time. It was a crazy time. Anyway, so yeah, your stack of shame on TVs and movie trailers. You need to start working on that while I start dwindling down on my
video game. Have you started any?
I started Metal Gear Solid.
What do you think so far?
5. So far, I'm not in love with it.
Okay.
And
how far have you gotten into? How many hours would you say you got into?
How much do you remember of that game?
Most of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's been years.
I just got to the new mother base.
Okay.
So
that's when it starts getting fun.
Okay. Good.
That's when it starts getting
because
fun.
Honestly, and I think part of it too was I need to get my brain back into Metal Gear. Yeah, Metal Gear. I need to get my brain back into that world and how to move in that world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's a completely different style of video game than Last of Us.
It's completely different than the other Metal Gear games too, because it's more wide open.
It very much is.
Desert,
yeah. And how do you go about all the other games
stealth in a desert.
Yeah, that was, and trust me, like I'm sitting there. Here's the deal. Here's what I did. Let me tell you a story about the playing this game. So you get to that first village where you're trying to find Miller, right? And it's nighttime. And I'm sneaking around or whatever, and I end up on this roof, and I'm like, there's like a part of a roof that's blocking me, and so I'm trying to figure out like exactly where do I need to go. So I'm opening the map up, and I'm looking at it, and I start going through the options on the map, and I see a tape recorder where it's got a bunch of like recordings from talking to Ocelot, right, and going through like some story, right. So I'm like, oh. I sat there and I start going through all of the recordings, right? Next thing I know, it's daytime because I sat there for too long. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So, because like all of a sudden, like not only was it daytime, but like all of the guards like doubled of like where they were, how many there were. And I was like, oh, mother. So like here I am stuck on a roof in broad daylight. And I'm sitting there going, do I just sit here for the next 5 hours? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do I do? And so that was actually kind of fun, was like trying to figure out how I'm going to get off this roof now and like how many guys I can like murder or stun or whatever to get out of there and to make my way over. My favorite part, and this is just the glitchiness of games like this, unfortunately. You're just stuck with the AI the way it is. Like guys would like hear me, like I would walk into a room and I would knock something over and all of a sudden, huh? You know, that thing. Yeah. And then they come running and there's only
point.
Yeah, there's only one, right. There's only one door, right, in and out of there. And so like I would go stand by the door And as they would open it, I'd push it closed. And they'd open it and I'd push it closed. And they'd just keep doing it and I'd push it closed. And finally they'd walk away.
That's awesome.
Because I'm like, I don't want to get in a gunfight. Like, the whole thing is to be stealthy, right? Like, you don't have a lot of like ammunition and stuff. So I just keep pushing that door closed until the guy got frustrated and left.
That's awesome.
It was phenomenal. And so then I go find Miller, and I could hear Miller somewhere. I'm like, where is he? And so I think he's behind this door, and I open a door, and that was not where he was. And there's a dude standing right there, and he's like, huh? And then they do that whole slow motion thing. So then I'm like trying to shoot him with my I was trying to switch my gun real fast, and I couldn't do it fast enough. And so the guy got a shot off, which alerted everybody. I finally knocked him out. And then I found the room where Miller was, and there's a bed in there. And I went and hid under the bed, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, maybe they won't see me. Maybe they won't see me. And nope, they saw me. And so all of a sudden, they all come running in, and I'm under this bed, but they can't shoot me because I'm under the bed.
Interesting.
And so I just start picking them all off. It's just bodies just laying on top of each other.
Wow.
After by the end of it.
That's awesome.
And that's how I got out of this. I finally, like, I literally killed everybody in that place. In that one room is just a stack of bodies.
That's awesome.
And so I picked up Miller, took him, and walked him right out of the desert, like, you know, or whatever. And those weird demon things showed up, and then I had to take off running. But anyway, yeah. So it's like things like that. I just don't know if I'm playing the game appropriately sometimes.
There's no wrong way to play it.
Okay, that's what I'm curious about. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah. Just you can go all out, guns blazing.
I've been trying not to kill anybody until that moment, and then it was just pile up the bodies.
Yeah, it was carnage and chaos.
Yeah, I've been trying to be the stealthy, whatever.
Yeah, I think I did carnage and chaos the whole way through my playthrough of that game.
And see, to me, that's
some of them you have to like stealth it.
And to me, that's Last of Us. Is that Leia out there?
Yeah, I think she's scratching at the door.
Oh my gosh, let's go let the dog.
It's gonna get hotter in here.
It's gonna get hotter in here, Leia.
Pup.
You have to be good, and you have to lay down. You have to be good, and you have to lay down. Come on, lay down. Hey. Oh God, you just slimed me.
Awesome.
Buddy. She slimed me.
Buddy.
Lay down. Come on, sit. Sit. Don't you say no to me. Sit. Hey. Sit. Can you do it? There you go, you old girl. There you go.
So I've been playing a game called Paradise Killer.
What system is that on?
I've been playing it on Switch. I think it's on PC and Switch.
Okay.
But it's interesting. It's a murder mystery. You're like an investigator trying to track down who killed like this board, all these board members.
Clue.
Yeah, kind of. So yeah,
it was Colonel Mustard in the study with a candlestick. Solve the game for you.
Thank you. But yeah, there's like this big island. You have to explore this whole island and look for clues.
Gotcha.
It's interesting.
Gotcha.
But I guess they're on like their 24th version of this Paradise, and like as soon as they solve this murder mysteries, they're going to go into the 25th version, and like every version before that is ended. Like the world ends, and they moved on to a different reality. It's weird, weird but interesting and kind of cool.
Gotcha. I tried
kind of addicting.
Kind of addicting.
Yeah.
I tried to play Hard Rain. That was the game I was going to start with.
Okay.
And when I turned it on, it did this weird thing where it was flashing the entire time.
Huh.
And I thought something was wrong with my PlayStation. I looked it up afterwards, and apparently, like, I uninstalled the game and reinstalled the game. Apparently, that's just a problem with that particular game.
Really?
And, like, it can happen. You have to turn your PlayStation completely off and turn it back on, and it'll like reset whatever the problem is with that game. So I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if I'll ever play it because of that.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing about my Virtual Boy.
Let's bring the Virtual Boy out.
I don't know if I'll be able to play my Virtual Boy.
Don't knock off your controller, though.
Should I take it out? Or do you want the whole thing?
I want to see the whole thing.
All right. Here it comes. Yeah, still dead. Still not working.
Okay. I think I got it.
So it worked for about 30 seconds today when I fired it up. And then the display cut out. Like there's still sound. Mm-hmm. Like you can still hear the sound of the game, but yeah, you can't see it.
The fact that you even still have this.
Still have the Virtual Boy.
I mean, who keeps a Virtual Boy?
I do.
But why?
I don't know, dude. Because I think because I got it for a steal.
I just remember watching this. I remember playing this thing one time. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to hit the microphone. I remember playing this one time.
Awkward. The whole thing's awkward. It's poorly designed.
Yeah.
Like every time I ever played it, either my back hurt, my neck hurt, or my eyes hurt.
That was the thing. I remember getting a headache.
Right.
I remember getting a headache trying to play this thing. And that's why I tried it like one time and literally my eyes were bleeding.
Every time I ever played it, it gave me some kind of ache.
And so I was just like...
As a teenager, like it came out in 1995, so I would have been like 14, 15, years old when I'm playing this thing. And every time I played it, it gave me an ache. Like my back hurt or my neck hurt or my eyes hurt.
The
like,
freaking Virtual Boy.
Yeah, man. Like something hurt every time I played that stupid thing.
Because, you even have to have, like, literally, like, the way it's designed, it's on a hinge.
Yeah.
So it can sit on a table,
Yeah.
even real low, like a kitchen table.
And you have to lean into it.
And you just have to lean. So, but you can literally just lay your head on it. Like, you just, bonk.
I mean, kind of.
Right? Because it'll twist.
Yeah, it twists. Like you can change the angle. You got to loosen it. Yeah.
That's actually pretty tight considering. So you see what I'm saying? Like you can
adjust the angle.
Yeah.
But there's no strap. You can't like strap it to your head. Plus, it's so heavy that
Can you imagine strapping it to your head? Well, honestly, have you ever worn my VR goggle set?
No, I haven't.
It would be just the same.
Heavy?
Yeah.
Really?
I have a
an Oculus?
Oh, no, it's for my drone. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, for your drone.
Yeah, here, take this.
Okay.
Take that piece of junk away from me.
Check out the controller though. I do like this
the
controller.
You know what the controller reminds me of? GameCube.
Okay.
It looks just like the GameCube minus the joysticks.
I do like the design of this controller. And I do think it was ahead of its time back in 1995.
So here's what I use. This is my VR set if I'm flying a drone.
Really?
So it's no different. It's no less heavy. See what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not obviously going to be able to.
Right. I'm just getting a feel for it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so this has actually touch controls on here, so you can go through the menus and stuff like that.
Really? So like that's interesting.
Yep. But you can't, like, I can't ever wear this if I'm flying and I don't have a visual observer with me.
Have you ever tried the games, like the Oculus Rift?
I have not. No.
The PlayStation VR. I haven't either.
No.
But there's a couple games I'd like to try though.
Yeah. Yeah. This to me, this feels very much like a GameCube controller.
Okay, I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Like I don't know. To me, it reminded me of like the PlayStation. Like it kind of has the triggers back here. So it has some nice trigger buttons. It has a D-pad on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, like if you were playing 3-dimensional, you could have like one controlling the camera and one controlling the movement.
Okay. So kind of like the way, Leia, you're gonna be in trouble here in a second.
I do think they had a really cool design for the for that time back in the day.
Yeah. I think it was a precursor to what they eventually ended up doing with, the joysticks and the dual joysticks and stuff you see.
Speaking of which, with these two,
yeah.
I read an article today that you can play GoldenEye on Nintendo 64 with 2 analog sticks. You hold 2 controllers and use 1 analog stick on the second controller to control the camera instead of those C buttons on the Nintendo 64.
Really?
Yeah. Like you go into the settings, plug 2 in, and you can play it with 2 analog sticks.
No kidding.
I learned this today. Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I need to fire up my Nintendo 64 and try it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Spring Fan, thank you so much for the gift sub to Justin. That's great. You're a freaking rock star.
I don't know what that means.
You are a freaking rock star. Basically, she gifted a subscription to Justin.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. Justin's I'm going to check out his he's actually a streamer as well, and he's from Australia.
Oh, nice.
And he does basically what we're doing here, but probably better.
Okay.
And but in Australia.
Okay.
So I definitely need to check his stuff out.
Yeah.
So
is he still chatting with us?
Yeah, he's still on here.
Yeah. Hey, I understand people in Australia don't like the mixture of Reese's cups. Like they don't like chocolate and peanut butter together. Is that true?
How could you not like that mixture?
I've met Australian people, and they tell me that they just hate that combination. They do not like chocolate and peanut butter together. Like Reese's Cups and Reese's Pieces must not sell down there at all. But I don't know if that's true or not. That was just like one couple of Australian people that I met.
That
It's wild, huh? It's like my favorite dessert combination. Chocolate and peanut butter.
well,
together.
yeah.
It's like
I
my
literally
favorite.
have Reese's. For my birthday yesterday, I got a package of Reese's peanut butter pumpkins.
That is amazing. Those
And
are the best ones.
They're freaking the
'Cause
big,
you get so much peanut
big
butter.
suckers. Oh yeah.
Those are the best ones. Did Justin confirm? Is he still with us? Is Justin
Don't really have Reese's Pieces there.
because people in Australia hate the combination.
That's
of
insane.
Of
How
chocolate
could you
and
hate
peanut
that
butter together.
I don't.
I know it's fascinating.
There's no
Fascinating.
way.
It's
fascinating.
Yeah, it's like in America, it's like the best
It's like the best thing.
combination. But yeah, in Australia,
It's like we
they
don't
do
even
not
say
like it.
we don't even say goes together like peanut butter and jelly. It goes together like peanut butter
And chocolate.
and chocolate.
Yeah, it's the best.
I don't know. This fat kid loves him some peanut butter and
Yeah,
chocolate.
I do too. It's like my favorite.
Wow. That's
could-
crazy. I can't even imagine that. We were talking about moving to Australia, and the only thing keeping me from it was spiders, the size of the spiders that they supposedly have out there. And I wanted to ask Justin that because I thought you guys had like ginormous spiders, and that would freak me the heck out. But apparently I was incorrect in that. I'm not sure. But now, if you can't do peanut butter and chocolate, not doing it, man.
Not doing it.
Not doing it.
Not even visiting.
Nightbot's going crazy. Nightbot's drunk again,
Awesome.
spamming everything. Go home, Nightbot. You're drunk. Spiders are fine. Pfft, they're not fine. They are not fine.
The way they move creeps me out. The way they're all like, kind of like slowly crawling. That's
The fact that some of them can jump and some of them can hiss. They spit things out their butt.
awesome.
I mean, no.
So when I
And
was
they bite.
when I was in Okinawa, like every single tree you walked past had a spider in it. And there were these huge black and yellow spiders that were about as big as my hand. And they would just like sit in their web, just chilling in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were all over
No.
the place. All over the place.
No.
That and giant snails. There were giant snails.
No, that
all
wouldn't
over
bother
the
me.
place. Like the shells were like that big.
Here's the
around.
thing, though. Like, even here, like, I've seen some gnarly looking spiders. Like big, like, garden spider. Have you seen those garden spiders with, like, yellow with, like, a big black looking back on them and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Those things are, like, deadly.
Are they?
Supposedly.
Awesome.
I won't look them up because I don't want to look at spiders on the internet. Rachel threw a brown recluse at me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It wasn't a real one. She thought she was being hilarious, but
That's awesome.
we had, so in our garage, we have a bin that is where I keep all the stuff to clean the Tesla and everything with, right? And I walked up to it. I was gonna do something nice for my wife, and I was gonna clean her car. And as I walk up to this thing, there's just webbing all down to it, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Awesome.
And so I just start kind of knocking the webbing away, and I start pulling the cloths out, and then all of a sudden there's one just sitting there. I freaked out. Rachel was next to me. She screamed. I screamed. I pooped my pants. And so then it became, she was like, "What do we do?" And I said, "We burn the house down."
This house?
This house. Like, that's what we do. We
awesome.
we burn the house and we move. And she said, no. What, like, let's just get, whatever. And she's like, "Let's just take the thing." And I was like, "Fine. Take that thing out into the driveway and burn that." She refused to do it. So she's like, we're gonna get it, we're gonna kill it, whatever. So she ended up getting it out of there. And like, my wife had to do this. And
Are you clutching your pearls?
oh my God, I was having chest pains. And so we get it out. I helped her get it out of there. Like, I was willing to do it. She just chose to do it for me.
That's awesome.
She could see the fear in my face. We killed it. Whatever. Yes, we kill spiders. I'm sorry. They're evil. They die. But then became the question of, oh my God, is there more in there? Are there more in this
yeah,
bucket?
guaranteed.
Right? So then it was, so she's like gloved up and she's pulling one cloth at a time out, right? And putting it over here, one here, whatever. And I'm standing next to her.
And this is one of those big black and yellow spiders you were talking about?
Brown recluse is brown.
It's a brown. Okay.
Brown recluse. It's like the deadliest spider we have.
Holy cow.
In
Indiana.
Okay. And as I'm standing there next to her, I'm closer than we are now.
Yeah.
Okay. In my mind palace, I'm sitting here thinking, she's going to pull one out. She's going to pull a rag out and it's going to be sitting there and it's going to freak her out. And she's going to scream and throw it. And it's going to throw right on me. Right?
Right.
I no more than thought that. She pulled a cloth out, screamed and went like that. Okay. I saw my life flash before my eyes.
I believe you.
Oh my God. I thought I was going to die. And she was joking.
Are you serious?
She was completely joking. There was nothing there.
That's awesome.
Dude, I sat down on the ground because I thought I was having a heart attack. Like, it was not funny. It was not funny. Like, it was.
Yes, it is. That's awesome.
She's laughing hysterically. And I'm like,
because it's hilarious.
I'm just holding my hand up like, look, you keep on laughing all the way to the hospital because I'm calling 911. It was.
Did you do an EKG on your?
My watch went nuts. Like, it was like elevated heart rate, time to breathe, please stand up. Like, it was like, go wipe your butt. Like, it was every alert my watch could give me was going through the roof.
That's hilarious.
She thought it was the funniest damn thing on the planet.
How often do you fill your rings on your Apple Watch?
Not as often as I should. I need to be in competitions with people. I've sent you a competition before and you did not respond.
You have?
Yeah. Before you leave today, I want to make sure I'm sending it to the right. I have, like, for some reason, you are twice in my phone. Really? I don't know why.
Huh.
It's like a weird.
Yeah, we need to check that out. I think I need to call AT&T and figure that out.
Yeah.
I think there's something funky going on.
But anyway, we
phone and
want to do that.
I tried to do